Hi everyone, welcome to Marianne's Mystic Mentions, and I'm Marianne, and welcome to your second half of November month readings. I mean, it's amazing what's happening and the feelings that are coming through, and for those that are new, I welcome you with all my heart to my channel. I love new subscribers and new people that like and have that like-minded, sense about what's being said and shared. It's very spiritual, motivated channel, and it's about guidance and inspiration and absolute love. And I do read what I can call my love connection readings, because every month I read for each sign, which I call my featured sign, twice, the beginning, first half of the month, and then the second half. So we're on the second half of November readings. I'm going around my zodiac wheel from Aries to Pisces, and we are on the beautiful water element and sign of Cancer. And I like it for you, Cancer, because even as I'm speaking this to you, there's a huge emphasis and feeling in my heart. You are a water sign, as is Scorpio, the season we're in, and will be for the majority of November. And it started the latter part of, the 22nd of October. And there's a lot of love. I always say my love connection readings are not dedicated strictly to romantic love. Of course, that is a percentage of people, but it is about all forms of love, all inclusive. The power of love is astronomical. It can't be measured by any means, but it can be felt. And it is a powerful, important emotion and feeling that we all really need to have in our lives. And I think it's becoming more and more understanding and evident to many people with everything we're going through, and continue to rise above, which is really a big part of the Scorpio energy right now. Every year at this time, Scorpio being ruled by, historically ruled by Mars, okay? The warrior planet, the fiery, the ambitious, the fixed sign of Scorpio is very evident, very intense, very deep. They like to dig deep. They like to transform themselves, be the best they can be. They don't do things halfway. It's black or white. A lot of times there's this really kind of magnetic energy I feel with Scorpios, that you don't know exactly what's underneath the surface because it goes so very deep. But once you do know and you get to know them, they're one of the most loyal, incredible friends, lovers, people you could have on your team in your life. And that's a really truthful statement from my perspective and any Scorpios I've been around. And I've been around them all my life. I don't plan it. It seems to be a magnet for me as well. So with you, Cancer, I'd imagine you're familiar with a lot of Scorpios, because it's a harmonious energy and, compatibility between the two of you. And you're very different, even though you're the water signs. But the fundamental, personality traits and energies are basically the same. And that being, well, you're ruled by the moon, Cancer. So that is all about the phases and the different, cycles, right? Of every day, every month, every year, a lifetime that you're so in tune with. You have that watery, receptive energy. You have that sensitivity to everything around you. You have these incredible gifts of clairvoyance and all the essence, clear essence. There's several. There's 4, 5, 6 of them or something. I know them. You have a great, strong, intuitive part to you that people definitely recognize, and they come to you for that, for advice and that gut feeling you may have, because you're usually spot on, as Scorpio is. Now we have Mars, the planet I mentioned, the fire warrior planet that was originally historically Scorpio's ruling planet, in Scorpio right now, along with Mercury, straight ahead, no retrograde anymore. Very clear head, mind, thoughts, connection, keeping things moving, quick moving, ideas, inspirations, that sort of thing. So we're dealing with heart and the mind, which is a beautiful, synchronistic, beautiful, holistic way to have your life running and balanced. And let's see here, what else? You're a cardinal sign. So as much as you're a homebody a lot of times, and you love, taking care of your home, the people and family mean everything to you, they're number one priority. You also are a busy little bee a lot of times. I mean, for a crab, you initiate things, You don't like sitting down for too long a period of time. You feel like you could always make a difference, and you're needed, and you're compassionate, and you're caring, and you are protective of yourself and others. I will say that. That is, as I always say, that harder exterior, the crab, the shell. But you've got those like Scorpio, you've got these claws, and when you like something, you want something, you are going to dig in and hold on to that, boy, with everything you are. You're devoted and loyal as well. So I feel really a lot of intense, loving, romantic, parties you're going to with Scorpio friends, lovers, whatever it is the situation may be, family. And I mean, the sun is out here. We've had some rain. We've had it all. It's fall. You represented the season of summer, the summer equinox. What a beautiful time of year that is. But it represents change and transformation. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that, of course, we did have that new moon in Scorpio around the 4th, 5th, and it's still affecting all of us with ideas and inspirations and new changes and transformations that are life-changing, okay? There are also the small ones, like what blouse am I going to wear to work? I think I'll change the color of my shoes for a change and that sort of thing. They're important as well, but I'm really talking way bigger because we're also in the shadow period entering into our next eclipse season, and that happens every 6 months, and we're changing the signs. Well, we're starting with Taurus on the 19th, and it's a partial lunar eclipse in Taurus, the sign, the earth sign, I can't even say it, Venus ruled sign. So there's a lot of passion, a lot of inspiration for romance, for sensuality, for money, for gifts, for magic, for feeling good, taking care of yourself. The earth signs are very much practical, down to earth, doing the things that are going to work in the long run. They're not in a rush. Taurus is also a fixed sign. And as I've been saying, and I'll keep it short now because I have to, I just go on and on. The most important, really important thing is we do have Jupiter and Saturn both in the sign of Aquarius, and Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and Uranus is a very powerful portion of every aspect of this month, and particularly the full lunar eclipse in Taurus, because Uranus has been in Taurus for about 2 years, and it's going to be there for another 4 or 5, because it's a slow-moving planet. It goes from sign to sign, but it takes 8 or so years, so 7, 8 years. And, Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, so unpredictability, when you thought you were sure, oh, I got that covered. I mean, I have enough, and that's not an issue, and that job's secure. Bam, right? Out of the blue. However, know that these changes, these unexpected occurrences are absolutely, positively, unequivocally for our well-being, even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment. I have just gone back to work today after 17 days, who's counting, as a massage therapist of 20 years, and I broke a little bone right here in my wrist on the 25th of October, and I was taken aback, and that's my livelihood. And I've never ever injured my hands the entire history of my one scratch I got for 2 days. I had to, but and that happened earlier in this year. So anyway, it's not about me, but there are unexpected things that are phenomenal and ones that may set you back, or so you think, but they're not setting you back. They're preparing you for the next huge aspect of your life. And when you recognize that in time, you're going to think, wow, it's actually the most miraculous, incredible, mysterious, beautiful universe we live in, because it's always so perfectly synchronistic, and divine timing is always there. And we're so busy with our everyday life and circumstances that it's probably too big sometimes to even imagine and take in. But when you do, it feels pretty spectacular, and it's wonderful to know that it is always working in our favor. It really is. I'm remembering that, for example, with me losing a little bit of money in the last couple of weeks or so, that's just the whole thing about the ebb and flow. Like, we have that all the time. I do have a beautiful oracle card that I love to bring out ever so often, Money and the Law of Attraction by Jerry and Esther Hicks, and the teachings of Abraham, because it changed my life about the understanding of money, like everything being energy. you know, and how our thoughts create or block or bring in or resist everything, and money included. So I'll get to that if you want to hang out, but I'm going to pick first and foremost the highlighted connection for you, which I do for every sign. Spirit is the one in control of this. It's either a person or a circumstance you're very familiar with already, in connection with, or one coming in. And I mean, like I said, the eclipses are like moons on steroids, and this is affecting all of us. And what with your ruling planet being the moon, I think you're probably ahead of the game for a lot of us, Cancer, and you're already sensing what is to come. And I hope it's beautiful and phenomenal and something you've always, always dreamed of and wanted for however long, because those dreams truly do come true. And it's about believing it and feeling it into existence, which is another part of the other oracle that I'll bring up. So for you, beautiful, beautiful, loving Cancers. Let's see who Spirit wants you to know about specifically the second half of the month. Or if it's not this person, or if you know of it, it could be coming in. It is a feeling, or maybe you have a lot of that element or sign in your natal chart. Whoa, that went right off the table. Excuse me. So let's try again. All right. So for Cancer, we have Gemini. And you know what? That's not the first time I've seen this. You're not far from each other. You're right next to each other on the zodiac board. So you feed off each other anyway. Now, you being a water sign and Gemini being an air sign is interesting. It's a interesting combination in that you do help each other, absolutely. You know, water is receptive, like I said, and more emotional. Gemini is an air sign, like Aquarius, and you know what Jupiter and Saturn is right now. So there's a lot of feeling about that, where people are really starting to think more and not necessarily use their heart. But I don't think you'll ever lose that gift of using your heart. You're just adding the thought process a little more and the way to express yourself more. A lot of, I find, water signs are very intuitive and they're very internal. They tend to, you know, lay back so they can build up that energy again that they exude, and that comes out from just being so empathic and in touch with everything. It's overwhelming. It's exhausting. You need that downtime. You need that time to get back in that shell and, you know, preserve and reserve your energies. But I love I've seen many couples, by the way, of all different types, friendships, work partnerships, that were Cancer and Gemini, because you're next to each other and because you feed off each other, and you add some things that the other, you know, energies and elements don't have. So Mercury is the ruling planet of Gemini, and so they're very, very about mind, you know, thoughts, communications, spreading the word, teaching, you know, excelling in their ability to learn and you know, evolve. Information is huge, you know, working, anything that's, you know, exciting to them, because they are a mutable sign, so they are open to all sorts of different changes and experiences, and they know a little bit about everything, it seems. I mean, anyone I've ever spoken to in my lifetime, and there's a lot. I'm an air sign too, so I know a lot of Geminis, and they just are a wealth of knowledge. And they are very, very fun and witty and changeable. And so the moods that come from you can kind of relate to that with the Gemini, because that's happening to you all the time. It's understandable. You're very sensitive, so it changes your moods, right? And so let's see what the four major categories are that speak of these two highlighted connections, meaning you and Gemini, or maybe the duality of Gemini too. I said two. And then also all of your relationships, Cancer, okay? Because you have a lot of loving friends, and they appreciate you for who you are, and just your compassion, you know, your sentimentality, your devotion. So the first category is always the overall energy, and that's about the connection of this relationship specifically, or relationships you have. Coming into the second half of the month, we're already feeling the energies, you know, of the eclipse, and I think this beautiful earth element, which is also excellent for water elements, is really helping you to take your emotions and really make it more defined and definite and permanent, which is what you want anyway in your life. You want security, you want safety. You will work tirelessly towards that for those you love and yourself. So it feels great when it's about, you know, Taurus for you, and a lot of us actually, kind of really planting those seeds and making things permanent, next level stuff. So your overall energy, and I am using and changed the decks this time, this beautiful Queens of Tarot deck, because it is a very fixed sign month and it's a black and white deck with amazing illustrations. And the queens of the deck are not necessarily gender associated, but they represent the intuition of all of us that we have, and the ability to receive and be receptive to information through dreams, through signs and music, and just that magical part, once again, that's very much there. We all have the gift, and some of us just utilize it more than others, or have a little heads up on it like a Cancer would. So your overall energy coming in, like I said, for the second half is the Fool. Oh my gosh. So you are just coming in like, bring it. I am open. I am trusting. I feel that this is the time to experience the unknown. This is the zero, the beginning of the tarot journey. And it is just like light packing, not a lot of garbage or baggage. Done that, been there, starting fresh. Very conducive for new beginnings and transformations. The trust is very evident. And I'm looking, but I'm not seeing, which is not unusual for me, because I'm not sure if that is the full moon in the background. There's so much intricacy. It's a sun. It looks like a sun and a moon maybe, but you're looking at it because you are ruled by the moon. Go figure. And then, of course, the full lunar eclipse, it's when, they block each other, right? So that's amazing. That's like the eclipse right there. This is like that eclipse is going to set you free and start you again, And it doesn't have to happen on the moment or the day of, you know what I mean? It is a long-term, sometimes upwards of 6 months, where it's an affected storyline that continues. Like I said, now it'll be, it used to be Gemini and Sagittarius, and now we'll have the last Sagittarius new moon on December 4th. Powerful, optimistic, adventure, fire, ambition, soul, deep soul with Scorpio, of course, and certainly with Taurus, grounded, practical, deep people, those beautiful earth elements. But yeah, this is absolutely gorgeous. I love this eye that's on this rod. It's like, okay, this is my third eye, my intuition that's guiding me. So I have no concerns or worries because I trust and I just surrender and let it go. There's always divine intervention, always happening. And look at the back of these. Aren't these great? A bunch of third eyes. So fabulous. I love that. I love that attitude. I love that it's very conducive to what we've been talking about, because that's what the energies are. And you're taking it in. You're really making it happen for yourself. So congratulations there. Second category is that of possible blessings or obstacles. So while on this beautiful new journey and just trusting and believing and saying, I'm going to get exactly what I have signed up for and meditated on and manifested. And you have the Nine of Wands. Okay. 9 represents in numerology, very simplistically, it is the completion. So you're going out because you are ready to start fresh. You're ready to make that move, that relationship, that friendship, that adopting that pet, having that child, all inclusive, right? When it's the Fool, ready for that new beautiful journey with an open heart for sure. And then you're finishing, concerns and worries and overdoing and too much worry, perhaps too much exhaustion, physicality. You might have had something happen. I'm not a doctor, but you might have been wounded like myself. That's it. You're ending the last, just standing in there for the last, just around the corner is the Fool saying, you're healed, you're well, here we go. Okay, and I love that it's the 9, because the 10 is absolutely the new cycle. You take the 1, got the 0, you take the 0 away, it becomes 1 again. You're standing strong, and there's that sun coming up in the background, and that's Leo, and that's a lot of courage and strength and power within yourself that sometimes we don't even know we have. But you're ready for that now, and you feel it. And I think everybody that's gone through what we have in the last couple of years and made it through, we're stronger than ever. I mean, I keep thinking, what else? But I don't say that because then it'll be shown, and I'm not interested in that. I just know that we are strong and you are strong, and you're sensitive and all that, but it doesn't take away your strength ever. It's actually a strength, if you ask me, to be vulnerable and to have that sensitivity. It's an absolute gift. Excellent. So we go on to the third category, which is that of finances, or like I like to say, wealth, what you're considered to be wealth. And remember, finances, wealth, money in this three-dimensional world is, once again, energy as well. And it's interesting because during Scorpio season, I mean, they're all about that. They are in the 8th house. They represent the 8th house. Death is the tarot card that represents Scorpio because it's about dying and reliving and redoing and renewing and, you know, reestablishing, reinventing. It doesn't have to be physical death, but like with winter, all the leaves go off, right? And we're heading into that season next. We're in fall, but, you know, this is the prior to winter. It's the next season over. So all of that is being felt and understood, and it's a understandable part of life. You know, the seasons have been there for as long as time, and so it's just, though they're changing, they're still there. And the idea is that you can constantly reinvent yourself, constantly change, constantly go with the flow, and just be open and, you know, and really trusting. I feel like I lost my train of thought a little bit, but yeah, wealth, what that means to you, your health, of course, you know, and all that beautiful stuff. But relationships, I mean, there's so much wealth in great relationships. I really love them so much, and I always ask to have relationships that are reciprocal and that are, you know, accepting and long-lasting lifetime friendships, you know. And so for that, you have the Page of Wands. How fantastic. So you've gone from the 9 to the 10. There it is. There's the 1. There's the page. There's the beginning. It starts over. It is young. It is youthful. It is vibrant. It is the inner child. It is children. It is the talk of children, perhaps. It is your desire to feel playful and have fun and laugh and don't take life too seriously. It is information that's new, that represents, you know, something having to do with job or opportunity, income, of course, being under finances. Exciting with this beautiful Sagittarius energy coming through for the Sagittarius season a week from now. It's like the arrow that, you know, Sagittarius has. This is a 1, same idea. You point that arrow and you've got these ideas, and they may be new, but they can transform and grow through time and long-term time, not just fly-by-night stuff. That's not what you're interested in. And, you know, you're believing that so strongly. And the influence of Uranus and Taurus is about exactly that. Yeah, things can change in a heartbeat. That's what we need to learn in life, and to adapt to that and regulate ourselves to the unknown and the known, you know, and for the times that will be unknown that we don't know of, if that makes sense. But also just knowing that there's some long-term beautiful opportunities for all of us that are grounded and deeply secure and stable. So your final category is that of surprises and wishes. So there it comes, that Uranus energy again, and I thought that would be a great category out of the 4, because most of the categories that I'm using answer most questions, I think. And yeah, what are the surprises and wishes that you are creating? Because they're going to come in your life, you know, already. We know that by default. And some we absolutely love, right? For our birthdays, or, oh, yeah, that's so cool, thank you. Some, well, yeah, I didn't, you know, but we deal with them, we get through them, and we're stronger, and we're actually more empowered. So for you, beautiful Cancer, for your last message with these categories, it's going to be Ace of Swords. Whoo, boy, talk about communication. And I mentioned that's the Gemini influence again. That is the third house. We still have Gemini in North Node. It is shifting, because when we have these new, you know, eclipses in different signs, it becomes that node at that point, and then they become the 2 nodes of North and South. But it's not quite done. So the remnants of that, ideas, inspirations, I mean, changes, Great conversations, great ability to express yourself, maybe like never before in any regard, in any relationship, is very key right now. There'll be a huge amount of air influence in the next 20 plus years and more, changing from the earth over to air. But it's really, really important that we grow and learn, an example being that we take the courses we need to, and we spend the time and we're dedicated to it, because before we know it, you know, most educational courses are not that long, 2.5 years, 3 years for certificates, or, you know, that sort of thing. And it's just, it's so important. It's so important, but it's only going to be what you want it to be. It's your wish. And it seems as though you know exactly what that is. Beautiful, psychic, knowing Cancer. So congratulations. Your bookends are, you know, the beginning of the month coming in of this beautiful Fool. I'm ready, I'm open, and I'm very, very trusting, because I know it's going to be good. It's all going to be perfect. You know, letting go of this last cycle that might be hard and a little bit too strenuous, moving into that new, beautiful, fiery energy we really are moving into, and having that optimism that's going to take you exactly where to go, meeting the right people, being with the right institutions. This could be money, you know, medicine. It's all going to be always in your favor. And that's a beautiful wish to have come true. The comforts and the serenity and the security of comforts for the rest of your life. So that is your reading, and I think it's excellent, and I think it's understood and certainly deserved. And I'm going to finish with the 2 oracles I mentioned. One being, I said, the money and law of attraction cards. How were you taught? You know, what were the belief systems when you were growing up? I know what they were with me, and they were divided because my parents were divorced when I was 1. I saw my dad always. He was the most incredible, wonderful, supportive, loving person in my life, and yet it was awkward. It was uncomfortable, right, with the divorce. And he was always about get the finest, and there were a lot of kids, so he was making sure he paid everything, and he was always on time, and he even added to the couple other kids that came along after, because that's how great of a person he was. And managing money, bottom line, believing there's enough, there's no scarcity. That's in our mind. That is a mindset. That is a belief. And then my mother, on the other hand, with 9 kids, was pinching pennies, and oh, I don't know where it's going to come from, and it's, you know, that sort of mentality. I started working very young because of that, though, because I didn't want to believe that that was going to be the case. But it took me years to be good at managing money, though. I'm just now, in the last decade, really getting it. But that's okay, you know, as long as I leave this planet understanding and growing and learning, I'm good. I'm good. So I hope you're in that same mindset now. And I'm going to pick your card, which is the better it gets, the better it gets. Woo! That's right. It's that simple. Look it, you got the rocket shooting to the moon. You're a beautiful ruling planet, Cancer. And when you believe this, what's being said there, and say it over and over and over, that's exactly what you're going to get. It's that simple, and it's that magical, and it's so beautiful. And it says, when you deliberately seek positive aspects of whatever you are giving your attention to, you, in a sense, tune your vibrational tuner to a more positive aspects of everything. And of course, you could tune yourself negatively as well. But as you are deliberately looking for positive aspects in yourself or in others, you will find more of those things. The better it gets, the better it gets. For you get more and more of what you are thinking about, whether you want it or not. And that's so important, because I have to really, really be that detective, especially now with Scorpio season. What am I saying? What am I thinking? Oh my gosh, no, I don't want that. I want the best. I want the happiest. I want the most abundant. And not doubting myself, which I did during the time I couldn't work. You know, I am human, but I work on it every day. And I believe, and it's really made a difference, because I think I healed extremely quickly, though I do Reiki energy healings on it. I'm going to go on to your last card, but I do want to say, if you're interested in supporting me, it would be so amazing and wonderful to grow my channel. That's what I would love to see through time, but I'm going to be here regardless. And when I say supporting, I mean just pushing the like button, thumbs up, sending me a comment my way so I can have that interaction, which is really important to me and I love very much. I do personal readings, but if you're interested in that at all, just send me a comment. It's a little safer now because there's some other stuff going on. Don't need to go into that. But we can, convene on that. And then just, subscribing is following, and you're not going to get in a bunch of stuff. It's just a way to be very supportive, and I love you for it. And I love those that have already very much. So last card is the Super Attractor Manifestation, where you manifest your life, and the better it gets, the better it gets. And it's really that simple. And it's always that way. Law of attraction, what you put out, you get back. And, really feeling and passionately sending out the energy that you believe in fully, like a fool, are willing to get and accept. It's on. It is on. So, and these energies are no joke. They're really going to help provide that for us. And we're not working against them now. They're working with us. The wind is behind our backs now. So, your last message is, oh, what a beautiful card. Believing in spiritual guidance gives me certainty and the freedom to keep dreaming, even when I can't yet see the results. How incredibly perfect for you. I'm getting goosebumps because it was about the Fool. It was about that trust and not having to see, not having to know exactly, but knowing it's going to be okay, regardless. Fully believing it's going to be okay. Look at the colors and the stars, the Jupiter in Aquarius is no joke either. That is about incredible prosperity and luck and opportunities, expands everything. And then the Saturn in Aquarius, which will be all through next year too, is about the information and the constriction that we make and must have to get to our point, to be focused, to not get deterred, to not get crazy and off kilter and lose it, so that we can get the prize at the end of the journey, as it were. So keep those, and Aquarius, that represents the star, our dreams, our most important, passionate manifestations in life, and they're out there and they're always going to happen, and the more we believe it, the more we believe it. So, and it's purple, for heaven's sake. So wonderful, wonderful reading. I'm extremely happy. I hope you do well. For those that celebrate Thanksgiving, have a beautiful, healthy, loving, joy-filled day. And I'll be back for December, first half of the month readings. So come on back. Thank you for your time. And until then, bye for now.